This is WOR New York. You stay tuned for Lester Smith. He's got the news.
News in detail on the hour from the WOR newsroom. Allied field reports in South Vietnam reported today that communist forces have cut the two most important roads to Saigon. 35 miles south of the capital, a road to the Mekong Delta was blocked. 25 miles to the north, the other road was cut. Hundreds of civilians were caught in a crossfire as government soldiers battled the communist troops for control of the route north of Saigon. Military officials are speculating that it could be an enemy move to isolate Saigon before the United States presidential election next month. Farther away from Saigon, they're still fighting around on Lac. The most severe battles today took place there, 60 miles north of the capital. Despite reports to the contrary, the United States military command in Saigon says the F-111 fighter bombers will remain on combat duty. Yesterday, military officials released a report that one of the $15 million swing-wing planes had crashed at an unknown location on its first combat mission over North Vietnam. The F-111s went back to the Indochina War 5 days ago after a 1968 withdrawal because 3 of them had crashed because of mechanical failures. President Nixon's health, education, welfare, and labor appropriations feud with Congress may have gotten a new log on the fire as the Senate approved a bill tonight that is almost a duplicate of the one Mr. Nixon vetoed in August. The latest appropriation is a $1.7 billion over the president's budgeted figure, and in his last veto, Mr. Nixon said the $30 billion total amounted to reckless federal spending. The new measure does allow Mr. Nixon to withhold $935 million from individual programs of his choice. This is provided that no one program is cut more than 10%. Senator George McGovern was in New York and in Boston today to tell all who would listen that President Nixon is failing to control street crime. McGovern called for creation of neighborhood crime prevention programs to provide more money for foot patrolmen, tenant patrols, and other measures in the nation's 25 largest cities to cut crime offenses. In Boston, the Democratic presidential candidate accused the Nixon administration of being morally corrupt, and McGovern said the president's implication that he was responsible for the 20% Social Security increase was a fraud. McGovern noted that Mr. Nixon had opposed the increase that Congress had passed. Stop tearing your country apart, said Vice President Agnew today, and recognize your enemies. Agnew, speaking to several Vietnam veterans against the war who were at a Republican campaign rally in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They interrupted Mr. Agnew's speech with the question, "How many bombs did you drop today?"